Hello and welcome back to Board Game Acrobat, where today we're going to have a look at this game here, Red Dragon Inn 7, the Tavern Crew. So if you don't know that much about Red Dragon Inn, there has been quite a few now, maybe even about 8 or 9, not even sure, maybe even 10 now, of these versions of the game, where it's kind of a standalone expansion, so you can play this on itself as a fully fledged game, or you can connect it with any of the other Red Dragon Inn games for a bigger game. This one, as you can see, is the Tavern Crew, so it's members of the crew in the tavern. So there is the wench, the stable hand, oh look at that, it's on the bed. There's Redbeard, and there is the bouncer. So Red Dragon Inn is a 2 to 4 player game, but or more with expansions. It can go as high as many as you want, as far as I'm aware. It's for ages 13 plus, and then it is 15 to 20 minutes per person. So, the Tavern Crew. What I'll do in this review, I'll let me talking a bit about the game, then I will show you a bit how it plays. I'll show you the different characters in this version, and then I'll go over my thoughts and feelings, my own personal thoughts and feelings for the game. So yeah, Red Dragon Inn is by SlugFest Games. Okay, so what does it say on the back? Oh, and I'll just add, designed by Sam Weller, Jeff Marrow, and Jen Kitzman. Okay. Serving up drinks and hospitality to the bardy adventurers of Greyport is an exciting, often difficult, and always thirsty task. The wench finally joins the party at the Red Dragon Inn, and she's bringing the rest of the tavern crew with her. Now the staff can kick back with a mug of ale, a fist of dice, and pouches lined with adventurers' gold. Drink, gamble, and roughhouse with your friends. But don't forget to keep an eye on your gold. If you run out, you're going to be on a dish duty for the rest of the night. Oh, and try not to get too beaten up or too drunk. If you black out, your co-workers will divvy up all your gold as tips before continuing the party without you. The last conscious adventure, that's been crossed out, staff member with gold wins the game. Choose from 4 hard-working tavern folk: Warthorn Redbeard, Molly the stable hand, Jasper the bouncer, and the long-awaited wench. The Red Dragon Inn 7 may be played alone or combined with other versions of the Red Dragon Inn to allow games with more than 4 players. So yeah, like I said, there's other Red Dragons. There's also expansions that can just have 1 or 2 characters. And then there's also Red Dragon Inn 5, which is a big box designed to hold them all, and now the new one, what's it called? The Smorgasbord Box, which again is extra space to hold Red Dragon Inn characters with a few additions to the game. So let's just go over how Red Dragon Inn plays a bit. Here's the rules. Okay, so in this version of the game, you also get 2 coasters. One is Halfling Stout, and the other one is Fairy Ale, and there's just 2 nice additions to the game. You can do with them as you wish during your adventure in Red Dragon Inn. So, in this game we have Molly the stable hand, Jasper the bouncer, Warthorn Redbeard, and the wench. Okay, so how Red Dragon Inn plays is, I'll just quickly set up for a 2-player game just to go over. Yeah, so right now I have Molly the stable hand and the wench. So what you'll do is you then take one of these tokens and put it on the 0. And one of the red tokens and put it on the 20. So you then take their deck. Both of these have an extra side deck to their main deck. So yeah, Molly the stable hand has the stables, which would get shuffled and go in the stable deck, and then her deck would be shuffled and go in her deck pile. And then the wench has a side deck of her own, which is special reserve, which are special drinks that she gives out for special occasions. So yeah, then you would all get 10 coins, or for a 2-player game you get 8 coins each, or for a 7+ game you get 12 coins each. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you'd be ready to start. So everyone, each player draws 7 cards from their main deck. And you're not ready to start. You need your drink deck. So the drink deck is formed of 30 cards. So those will get shuffled and be placed where everyone can reach them. And then everyone would be given a drink upside down in their drinking pile. So then everyone has 7 cards in their hand, and the turn order is written on each character sheet, just to make it a little bit easier. So your turn starts with a discard and draw phase, which means you discard as many cards from your hand as you want and draw back up to 7. And then you play an action card, and you can see what type of card they are by it saying it just under the title of the name. And then after you've resolved that, you order a drink to anyone else by placing it upside down on top of their cards, and then you drink your own drink and see what it did, and move your counters accordingly. There's also gambling, which means when someone plays a gambling card as their action, everyone would have to put a gold piece into the middle, and then it will go around, so people will be taking control of the world of gambling using their cards, or passing, and if everyone passes and it gets back to you, you get all the money in the middle. Okay, and play continues like that until either you're out of coins, and if you're a tavern brew, when you run out of coin, that means you're on dish duty for the rest of the night. If you're not tavern brew, you're kicked out of the inn because of you're no good anymore. Or if your 2 counters pass each other on your player map, it means you pass out. And if you're tavern crew, that means the rest of the adventurers are, the rest of your co-workers are divvying up your gold. If you're not tavern crew, you pass out, you leave, and any gold you have gets divvied up between everyone anyway. So, the difference is, so the special characters that you get in here, so we'll start with the wench, seeing as I have her in front of me. So like I said, she has this special reserve deck with quite powerful drinks, such as that one there, which is a 4 plus a chaser. And there's also stuff like that, a 3, and then you pay 1 gold to the inn. And yeah, so she has quite powerful drinks, and the way she gives these out is you'll find you can double check these on any of these, which are the dividers for if you're using Red Dragon in 5 or the smorgasbord. So the wench, I'll just read you out how her extra deck works. So turn cards in the wench's character deck causes her to give out special reserve drinks. To give a special reserve drink to a player, place the top card of the special reserve deck face down onto that player's drink me pile. The special reserve drinks on a player's drink me pile are always on the top card in that pile. If a regular drink card would be placed on a drink me pile, above the more special reserve drinks, it is placed below those special reserve drinks instead. During the wench's order a drink phase, she orders drinks from the regular drink deck as normal. So that is how the wench's special reserve drinks work. And then let's have a look at the stable hands. So she has all of the animals in the stable. So there's stuff like Bernard, the riding dog. We've got some flame horse, a unicorn, a panther, even a passed out adventurer. So how her deck works, again, you'll find this on the back of here, but I'll just give it a readout. So mounts. And Molly can have up to 3 mounts in play at a time. When a new mount comes into play, it takes the leftmost spot and pushes the others to the right. A mount pushed off the about to leave spot is discarded. Mounts come in three types. Immediate mounts take effect when revealed, then do nothing further other than stay in play. Passive mounts have an ongoing effect while that mount is in play. Mounts with a subtype, sometimes, may be played as though they are sometimes cards in your hand. If you play a sometimes mount in this way, discard it. And at the beginning of your turn, or after resolving a card with the horseshoe icon in the bottom right, reveal a mount in these steps. So that is the horseshoe icon. So one, if the revealed mount is a rival and that rival is currently in play, follow the instructions in the rival box on the revealed mount, not its rival. If the revealed mount is still in play and has an immediate effect, resolve the effect. Or 3, put the mount in play, pushing the other mounts down the line if necessary. So that is how the stable hand works. So the rivals, let me just see if I can find one with rival. There we go. So such as the riding dog, it says it across the side there, rival. So if that came in play and the panther was already in, you would lose 1 fortitude and discard Bernard. So that is how Molly's stable hand deck works. And then let's have a look at Redbeard. So Redbeard has stories. So some cards in Warthorn's character deck have a pipe on the bottom right, which looks like that. When you play one of these cards, immediately reveal the top card of the story deck and adds its effects to the original card. No player may respond to the original card until after the story card is revealed and added to it. The combined effects count as a single card of its original card's type. If a player neglects or ignores the original card, they neglect or ignore everything, and the original card and its added story. So that is Redbeard. And finally we have Jasper the Bouncer. So Jasper the Bouncer doesn't have an extra deck actually. He's just good at stopping people from hurting him. So yeah, this is here the good. Jasper keeps folk from sneak thieving the customers. And the bad, he does however frequently lose track of his teeth. But nothing more to add as he doesn't have a special deck. He's just quite good at not getting hurt basically. And then the prize that comes with this deck is the Absorbent Towel. So if you're using the prize variant and you win this, let me just read out what it does. So the next time you or a teammate ignores a drink, pick another player, shuffle that drink card into the player's drink me pile, then add this card to the prize bin. So you can just, if someone ignores a drink, you can move it somewhere else. And that is how that prize in the Red Dragon Inn 7 works. So, and then everything else, if you're familiar with the drinks, there is a list of the drink me cards that come in Red Dragon Inn. So, my thoughts upon this game here. What I do like especially is, because obviously you can mix up it with other games and that kind of stuff of it, but what they've done is made it quite simple by putting a level 7 in the bottom of the drink deck cards. So if you do end up mixing up the drink decks with like such promo cards or another drink me pile, you can always find out which. You can always split the decks quite easily, and that is something that I do quite like. The coasters, again, they're just normal coasters. They're nice. They don't really add anything to the game, but they definitely look nice and will give your gameplay a little bit, if you use them, a little bit more of a fantasy theme. The characters themselves, I've only played them between each other so far, but as of the moment they seem very well rounded. It's always been a very close game. I think the other night I played I think the wench against Jasper the bouncer, so the wench giving out her special strong drinks against the bouncer who didn't have any drinks, and we were very, very close all of the time, just in opposite directions. So Jasper wasn't losing any health, but his drinks was going down quite quickly, whereas the wench was able to hold her drinks. That just kept quite at the top, but she was getting hurt quite a lot due to Jasper's cards. Another thing with this version of the game is, as well as giving you the little kind of like pebble gems, because there is also some of them that only come with these tokens to keep track of your health and your drunkenness, and this version gives you both depending on what you want to use, and I think that is also quite a nice little addition, as that way if you're more used to using one, you can use it. If you have no preference, you can just go between them, it doesn't matter. And yeah, it's up to you really. That's quite nice. I think I've played with Molly the stable hand the most, and one thing I did find about her stable deck, especially with those rivals, is when they come up together, it does hurt Molly quite a lot, and when you get unlucky enough for them to come up quite a few times in a row, it kind of defeats the purpose of having an extra deck, because all it was doing was hurting me rather than aiding me into getting everyone else. But that's all part of the game. And Warform Redbeard's deck, I think, is quite easy to stop the stories from affecting anyone, because all you need to do is stop one of the cards, which a lot of the cards in the Red Dragon Inn is designed around. So quite a lot of times when I was using Redbeard, it was a bit anticlimactic because I wasn't able to use his stories quite as much, and yeah, it's just nice when you're using a new character to be able to use him fully. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Red Dragon Inn 7. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, do make sure you hit that like button, and please do consider subscribing for more board game related information. And until next time, share the love with board games.